Hello, everyone. My name is Deric, and I'm the founder of KriTech Solutions. Today, I'll be performing a demonstration of our ReKEY tool. Today, we'll be looking at a CCC estimate here on a Jeep Wrangler. Very short estimate with only a few lines. However, we want to go ahead and put this into CCC1 without having to do it manually. So you would go ahead and save that to your documents. Then you would open up the ReKEY tool. You will make sure that you have selected into CCC. It will require your username and password for your CCC. Then it's going to ask you what entry method you would like to put the estimate in at. You have two options. Your first option is new work file. If you select new work file, it will open up your CCC and create a brand new work file and drop the estimate directly into it. If you select into existing work file, it will then launch your CCC. It'll allow you to select the work file you want that estimate entered into, and then you will hit the continue button and it will take over and put your estimate into that system. So I will go ahead and select new work file, then choose the PDF, and I will select this estimate here that I have opened for you. At this time, ReKEY is opening CCC. It's going to use our user credentials to log into the CCC system. It will then create a new work file and start to enter in the information from our estimate. Right now, it's going to start entering in the information. A few things that we don't do with the system is we don't look at the admin information. So whatever estimate you're rekeying into the system, we're not actually looking at the vehicle owner's phone numbers or addresses or any of that information. We do, in fact, put the vehicle owner's first and last name on the estimate so that you can search for it and find it. However, we're not putting in the address or phone number. So if you are going into a new work file, once this is done, you will have to go back in and enter that information manually. If you're going into an existing work file, you probably already have that information in there. Now, as you can see, the ReKEY system has decoded the VIN number. It's moved on to the body of the estimate portion, and it is entering in the information by searching it, locating it in CCC's database, and adding it to the estimate, just as you would as a human being. One last thing we don't do is we don't look at your labor rates profiles tab. So we are not changing your labor rates or taxes in that estimate. And in most cases, some of the estimates you're rekeying will have different labor rates profiles. You may need to go back in there and select that in order for this estimate to balance or change them to match what the estimate says. If you're going into an existing work file, you may already have those labor rates stored. And in fact, once this is done rekeying, it will balance. If it doesn't, that's the first thing you need to go change. Okay. So the average estimate takes roughly about 5 to 6 minutes to go into the system. Now we are copying over all the information for you, including any explanation or note lines that are in the system, and we are sourcing the parts if there are alternative parts such as aftermarket or used parts. So the longer or more detailed the estimate is, that can affect the time. So again, those will take longer, but the average estimate does only take 5 to 6 minutes to go into your system. Once it is done, the estimate will be saved as a preliminary estimate, or in fact, whatever state your CCC work file is in. So if you happen to be in a preliminary supplement state, it'll save it in that. We do not commit or lock in the estimates or create any supplements for that matter. It just stays within whatever stage it's in. So you as the estimator have the ability to go into the estimate lines and make any edits, changes, anything you feel you need to do before committing that estimate and moving on to maybe a supplement as your normal process. Okay. Once this estimate is completed, which it does appear that we're getting to the end right now, the system will automatically save and close out CCC so that you can then go back in and do what you need to do. Now, you may have noticed our ReKEY system is working with the CCC web system, which in fact we do so that the system is much faster. It also allows you to use your workstation at the same time that you are rekeying an estimate. If you are a shop and you have the web-based system, but maybe perhaps you work in the desktop system primarily, whatever's done in the web system, you will be able to see in the desktop system and vice versa. So again, once this estimate has been completed and it saves and closes out, you can then even open up your desktop version and go ahead and locate it in there, and you'll be able to make any updates or changes or edits that you need to make before you're ready to move on to your next step. So the nice feature about ReKEY is obviously rekeying manual estimates. They on average can take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour for a human being to rekey an estimate, especially with the day-to-day interruptions from customer phone calls to drive estimates to working with technicians. So using a ReKEY solution like this, if you are rekeying estimates, will allow you to get your estimates into your system without you having to spend your time doing that. So watching it the first time or two is kind of neat. After that, it's like watching paint dry, but there's no shortage of things for you guys to do in the shop. So we recommend using the ReKEY tool and being able to get other things accomplished. Once the ReKEY tool is done, as I mentioned, it will save the work file and close it out. We do provide you with an invoice, and this is not what you owe us. You can speak with your representative about the price and the packages that we have for you. But this invoice here is in case you want to try and get reimbursed for using the system. Last but not least, we will give you a variance report, such as the one that's in front of you right now. So if there was anything that couldn't be done in terms of any changes in the system that couldn't be made, or based on the logic of these platforms, if we couldn't make a change because the system wouldn't allow us, we will show you on this form so that you can go back and address those yourself. Now, in this case, it says parts that were added as manual entries were hazardous waste, flex additive, and the rear bumper prep. Obviously, those are manual entries in everybody's system, whether you have them saved as a parts code or not. So that's why those are there. This entire system is in, or this entire estimate, excuse me, is in our system now. We can even go in there and launch CCC and take a look and continue on with the job. So thank you for joining us for our ReKEY demo. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you very much.